All right, excited to share with you today. So how many of you, this is the first time you've heard me speak, or you've heard me speak before? Jeff, you're like, what did he just ask? See, I pick on those who don't participate. I can see, all right? So excited to share with you. I'm going to be sharing a topic today, and let me just be real open. This talk may not be for everyone in the room. The talk today is, what does it take to go IMD? How many of you are serious about going IMD? All right, and you know, it is pretty awesome, the kind of recognition that we get, the lifestyle that we live. But let me just tell you, if you saw me growing up, or you saw me when I got started in network marketing, none of you would have picked me as the guy that was going to be successful in anything. I mean, I was the kid in high school that finished in the half of the class that made the top half possible, if that makes sense. Not exactly the, you know, sharpest knife in the shed, if you know what I mean. Sorry, tool in the door. I was the troublemaker growing up. I was the kid who, you know, was like always in trouble with the teacher, always in, what was the in-school suspension kind of thing. And so anyway, not voted most likely to succeed for sure. Barely got out of high school. After high school, went into the U.S. Marine Corps. Any Marines in the house? Art? Okay. And interesting, you see in the hands there, this will be interesting. Ladies, how many of you dated a Marine before? See, there's always a lot more hands. I don't know why that is. But let me just apologize on behalf of the Marine Corps. See, when I got out of the boot camp in the Marine Corps, see, boot camp does this really weird thing. They give you a level of confidence that you really don't deserve to have. And so I ended up going into college, and I decided I was going to be pre-med, even though I barely got out of high school. So first semester in college, I failed chemistry, D in biology, realized I wasn't cut out for medicine, went over to the economic school, had to take calculus, failed it miserably, and when I say miserably, I mean not even close, like not even 50%. Took the same class a second time, still didn't pass it, realized I wasn't cut out for, you know, economics either. So I became an entrepreneur essentially because I didn't qualify for anything else. And here's what happened. I decided to go all in on, you know, network marketing, quit my job. I was just going to go all in. And here's what happened. It was interesting. I had so much success in my first 2 years. I was able to move into this really amazing place. It's called a Honda Civic. Have you heard of this? See, for two months of my life, I lived out of my Honda Civic. And if, how many of you have been homeless before? 3 of you, great. So if you've been homeless, you know you develop a bit of a bathing problem. So I would actually bathe in gas station bathrooms. If I had more time, I'd tell you about the time I showered naked in a church parking lot. Interesting stuff that went on. And, you know, people do kind of do things for 2 reasons, the desire for pleasure or avoidance of pain. Or for me, I would say inspiration or desperation. And because of a whole lot of desperation, I was serious about going out and having success. And here's what happened. I started reading books. And I started listening to audio programs from other successful people. And I learned this concept called modeling. And modeling basically just says, if you want to have huge success in your life, find someone who's had the kind of success that you want, figure out how they did it, do the same thing, and you can get the same result. That make sense? And so I started looking for mentorship. I ended up finding Wayne Nugent. And when I found Wayne, I was at a point in my life where I was ready. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I decided to just model him. And so I'm gonna give you the first thing it takes to go IMD, and that's to decide. And see, if you look at the root word of decide, you get side. So genocide, pesticide, suicide, means to kill off. So to kill off any other option than going IMD. See, for some of you, it's still an option. It's an option for you to go on IMD, and if it's an option for you, let me promise you, you ain't gonna hit it. So you gotta decide to make it. And here's where I was. When I met Wayne, I was living in what I would call kind of the land of the common man. And see, in the land of the common man, life is easy. You know, it's comfortable. That's where most people live, in this land of the common man. And getting into network marketing, I'd look across and I'd see this land of victory. I'd see other leaders, like the leaders up here in the first couple rows, and they're living in the land of victory, and that's where I wanted to be. And so for a period of time, I'd cross over the bridge, this bridge that connected over, and I'd try. But what happens when you're over here in the land of victory, you get hit. See, you get hit with fear. You get hit with rejection. You get hit with failure, and it hurts. And so I'd go back and I'd cross back over this bridge, back to the land of the common man, where it was safe and easy. But I'd, sit here for a while, and I'd look over, and I'd say, man, I'll go to one more training. Let me just go to one more training. So I'd cross back over the bridge. I'd get my will up, and I'd get over here, and I'd go show the business to 10 people, and 10 people would tell me no, and it hurt. So I'd walk back over, back to the land of the common man. And see, my buddies had welcomed me back over. They'd pat me on the back and say, come on, man, come have a beer, come watch the game. See, the common man loves other common men because they justify each other's averageness. And I didn't want to be average. I'd look over and I'd see other people doing big things. I said, you know what, I'm going to cross over the bridge again. And I'd cross over the bridge and I'd try. And let me tell you why I tried. Because the word try is a front-end excuse for failure. It's the word you use when you want to have something to fall back on. Say, you know what, I was just trying. I tried that network marketing thing. I tried World Ventures, but no one wanted to do it. I tried it and it didn't work. And so I'd walk back over, back to the land of the common man, and I'd play the blame game. Most popular game in the world. And you don't know why the blame game is the most popular game in the world? Because it's so much easier to blame something else or someone else for your lack of determination to win. And that's what I did over and over and over. The company didn't work, the website didn't work, my upline wasn't good enough. And I'd blame it on, you know what, I'm too young, I'm just not a salesperson like everyone else. And I'd sit there in the land of the common man. And here's what happened. I worked for a company for 2 years. And after 2 years of working really hard with that company, I got laid off. And see, when I got laid off, I got pissed off. I just got mad as hell. And I said, you know what? Never again am I going to let someone else control my financial destiny. Never again am I going to sacrifice a great life for a good life because good is the enemy of great. I said, never again am I going to sacrifice and am I going to settle for anything than everything I ever wanted. So I crossed over the bridge one last time and I made a decision. I said, I'm burning the damn bridge. And when I burnt the bridge, that's when I started making it. Some of you need to burn your bridge. So what's it going to take for you to go IMD? You got to burn the bridge. So number one, you got to decide. And here's the deal. You're going to have a learning curve. I don't care what your background is. There's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be struggle. You're going to have to grow. You just got to grow because here's the reality. Your success in World Ventures is never going to grow beyond your level of personal growth. See, Ray Kroc, he said it best. He said, if you're green, you're growing. If you're ripe, you're rotten. Greatest investment in the history of the world. You want me to tell you what it is? It's the investment in your mind because no one can take it from you. Here's the philosophy I want you to live by. You empty your wallet into your mind, and your mind fills up your wallet. Yeah. See, I decided when I met Wayne, I was going to be coachable. And whatever he told me to do, I would do it. So if he said read a book, I read it. If he said go to a seminar, I went to the seminar. Let me give you the most 3 dangerous words for you. You want to know what they are? I know that. Some of you didn't come last night. A couple of you. I know. Because you're thinking, oh, I know that. I know what they're going to talk about. Some of you miss out on the regional trainings because you think, oh, I've heard that stuff before. I know that. You always got to be coachable. And some of you I know are thinking, well, man, it's risky. People ask me, what's the risk of joining World Ventures? See, we're not an investment. There's no risk in, joining, but there's a risk in not doing it. There's a risk in you not going in. You want to know what your risk is? It's what Wayne Nugent told me. He said your risk in not going all in is the life that you could have lived if you weren't afraid. So what is it going to take for you to go IMD? You're going to have to overcome your fears. And sometimes you see an IMD on stage and you don't see a lot of fear. And because you don't see a lot of fear, maybe you think we never had it. Well, let me promise you, nothing is farther from the truth. Exactly right. When I got into network marketing, I was afraid. First time I ever called someone to invite them, I was afraid. First time I ever got in front of a room and did a presentation, I was afraid. And let me just give you some facts about fear. The only difference between an IMD and the brand new rep is the IMD was just willing to keep breaking through their fears over and over and over. And see what happens eventually if you continue to do that which you fear, the death of fear becomes inevitable. So what happens is you go out and you invite 10 people to look at World Ventures and you're gonna be afraid. Don't expect for the fear to just go away right away. But after you do 10 invitations, guess what? You have a little bit less fear. You do 10 more, a little bit less fear. 10 more, a little bit less fear. First time I ever got in front of the room and had to do a presentation, I was afraid. There were 6 guests in the room and I was so bad 3 walked out. So guess what? Next time I did a presentation, I was even more afraid, but I did it anyway. Next time I had to do one, I was afraid and I did it anyway, over and over and over until we get to speak to 7,000 people. And most of you know it's not a whole lot of fear, it's a whole lot of excitement, ain't it? And let me just give you the biggest reason you have fear about showing this business to people. It's because of your emotional attachment to them joining World Ventures. See, here's the deal. Your prospect can smell your neediness and your need for them to get into business like a dog smells fear. And you wanna know a secret? Here's an interesting thing. When you stop being afraid of your prospects saying no, they start saying yes. So you gotta get rid of the fear. So let me give you a couple other things it's gonna take. And before I do that, let me just tell you another thing about fear. You don't know what the bigger fear is? The bigger fear of you going out and overcoming whatever it is you're afraid of is the bigger underlying fear that you have to live your whole life with because of a feeling of helplessness. See, if you don't go out and overcome that fear, you live your entire life with the regret of knowing that you could have done it, but you didn't. I want you to write this down. Fear is temporary, regret is forever. You don't want to live your whole life with the regret of knowing you had what it took, but you didn't go do it. I'll give you a more powerful fear. Here's the fear I work towards, and it's the fear of being afraid. Some of you know I'm a little crazy. I do adrenaline junkie, skydiving and some of those things. And here's what it is in my mind. I'm so afraid of living my life in fear. If I fear something, I just must do it. I got to go out and do it. So if I'm afraid, like I got someone on my chicken list and I'm afraid to call them, it hits me. I said, know what? I'm afraid of fear. I'm going to go out and make the call. If you're afraid to get up and do a presentation, you must do it. That's the fear that's going to serve you. That's the fear that's going to make you powerful. I'm going to give you one other piece of advice here on what it takes to go IMD is you got to go do the work. You got to be willing to go out and take massive action. See, massive action equals massive success. That's the reality in this business. And see, when I decided to go all in with Wayne, I realized all in wasn't 50%. That's not all in. All in isn't 75%. All in means all in. It means living by this philosophy for a period of your life. I want you to repeat after me. I will do today what others won't, to have tomorrow what others don't. See, here's what it was for me. I decided all in meant taking my TV and unplugging it and putting it in the closet until I had reached my goal. It's exactly what I did. See, I heard a man one time, this is what he told me. He said, he was actually a speaker, and he said, men, if you're the kind of guy who's more interested in watching television every night than going out and achieving success in your life, if you're the kind of guy who's not willing to go out and work for your family's success, if you're the kind of guy who's more interested in going out and drinking beer with your buddies than leaving generational success for your family, I won't call you a loser, but my friend, you're not a winner. And see, when he said that, it hurt. You wanna know why it hurt? Because if I looked deep down, I wasn't being a winner. I was living in this land of the common man. And I knew there was a land out there that I wanted to be in the land of victory. And I just wasn't doing what it took. So what's going to happen is you're going to want to quit at times. Along the journey, you're probably going to want to quit a few times. But here's the reality. You got two choices when you want to quit. Number one is to give up, or number two is to saddle up. Sometimes you're just going to have to saddle up. See, here's the other thing. A lot of you are looking at this and going, you know, I hear everything he's saying, but for me, it's unrealistic. And let me just tell you what I believe unrealistic is. Unrealistic is a lie that you tell yourself to justify staying where you're at. See, unrealistic is a lie that you tell yourself so you don't have to break through the fear. That's what unrealistic is. And if you look at it, you think about it, is it unrealistic to flip a light switch and the lights to turn on? That's unrealistic, isn't it? But thank God Edison didn't believe in the lie of unrealistic. See, it's unrealistic to bend a piece of metal and fly it across the ocean, isn't it? But good thing the Wright brothers didn't believe in the lie of unrealistic. See, it is unrealistic for two young entrepreneurs to come out of nowhere to create the largest direct selling travel company in the world, giving all of us the ability to live our dreams. But thank God Mike and Wayne didn't believe in the lie of unrealistic. Here's what we're going to do. I think Byron said it yesterday. Actually, at an event, I heard Byron say this. He said, on our tombstone, we got the year we're born and the year we died. And what's in between those 2 years is a dash. So here's what the question of today is, and what I'm going to encourage you to make the question of your life is, what is your dash going to look like? Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have everyone close their eyes for just a minute. Everyone close your eyes, and we're going to take a look at your dash 5 years from now. 5 years from now, with everyone's eyes closed, I want you to imagine waking up 5 years from now, after you've achieved IMD, after you've achieved your goals, and I want you to just feel what it feels like to wake up in the morning in your dream home, in your dream bed. I want you to, when you wake up, I want you to look around. What does your dream bedroom look like? And look to the other side of the bed. Who's laying next to you? You got your dream spouse laying next to you? The one who stuck with you through thick and thin on your journey to IMD? Or maybe you're lying next to the person you were able to attract that you always wanted because of who you've been able to become. I want you to get up out of bed and I want you to walk over to the windows. What does your view look like? You got a view of the ocean, view of the mountains, maybe a lake. Go ahead and walk into your bathroom. What kind of bathroom do you have? Your dream bathroom. What kind of shower do you have? Maybe a 6-head shower, maybe a shower that doubles as a steam room. Go ahead and walk into your closet. What does your closet look like? How big is your closet? Is it 1 story or 2? What kind of clothes do you have in there? What kind of shoes do you have? Do you just have a couple rows of shoes, or maybe you have some special shelves installed and you got shoes that line the entire wall? And see, today is a special day. I want you to pick out your favorite outfit. Pick out your favorite outfit, and I want you to walk out to your garage. Maybe it's a 3 or 4 car garage. Maybe it's a 6 or 8 car garage. What kind of vehicles do you have in your garage? See, today you're going to pick out your favorite vehicle, and I want you to get in it. So get in your favorite car. What does it feel like to get in that car? What does it smell like? Go ahead and crank it up. Hear the engine come to life. And go ahead and drive it out. We're going to a special place because World Ventures is doing an event not far from where you live with 30,000 people. And you're going to pull into the event center today, and you're going to see the special IMD only parking. You're going to pull into the garage. Valet is going to take your car, and you're going to go into the private entrance that's going to lead you directly backstage. And you're going to be standing backstage right now. I want you to imagine yourself standing backstage with 30,000 people out there, and you're about to be introduced. And with anticipation feeling throughout your body, you hear your favorite song start blaring throughout the auditorium. And with your favorite song blaring, you hear the announcer yell out, "World Ventures, welcome to the stage, IMD and multi-million-dollar earner." And you hear him yell out your name, and with power and confidence filling your body right now, you walk out, you run out onto the stage, and you see 30,000 people screaming and cheering for you because what you've been able to accomplish. And in that moment, feeling totally confident, you know that you will never stop building your World Ventures business until every leader in your organization that you love gets to feel exactly what you're feeling right now. If you're open to that challenge, open your eyes, stand on your feet, and cheer for yourself greater than you've ever cheered for anyone, because you have the ability to live that dream. It's your life. Go get it.